The hunter becomes the hunted, Awesome! That's the tagline from like 6 of my favorite movies.
And now for something completely different.
What I do is I look a woman up and down and I say, I'm coming to join you, bitch!
Oh, is that too far?
Oh, you want to get into things?
Well, I mean...
No. Let's get into things. Let's get real. Everybody, BoJack wants to get real. Cancel the bubble round, because we're getting real.
Hey-oh. Hey, what? Matt and Co.
Oh.
Hey, everybody. We have a 6-person panel, as always, and we're very happy to be here for another episode of No Time to Binge, a very weird show where we don't have time to binge watch stuff. We just watch the first episode and the last episode, and then really just make up what happens in the middle, because that's usually cooler anyway. And then we always have somebody on who kind of knows what goes on. That way they can tell us how inaccurate we are. But the panel we got going on today, let's start. Let's start down with Matt and Co. Matt and Co. Deterior. How are you gentlemen today?
My dad for a punishment. My dad made me do the show because I made him watch 3 episodes instead of 2.
Nice.
And lesson learned. We need to figure out what the real last episode is, and not like the third to last, because I had to endure a completely other episode, like another episode that was actually better than the final episode, but not much.
Now, Co. Do you get punished often by having Matt watch different television shows?
He rarely watches television shows, so it is very rare when I have to. But
yeah.
Yes.
Now, Co, will you tell us the last time you got punished and how that worked out? Because I like that he punished you by having you join a podcast this time.
Usually having Hank be on a podcast is punishment for us. But apparently today...
Who's Hank?
Hank is Co.
Oh, Co. Oh, okay. Hank is short for Co. That's cool. Okay. Excellent. Well, Co, do you want to tell everyone who's watching where they can hear you normally, what your shows are, or if you have any blogs or fashion statements you got to get out there?
Just Jack Billings Presents Me and My Neighbor Michael. Yeah.
Nice. Is there a chance that you're like an old person who doesn't look that old? Because you seem like you know what's up.
I never thought about that.
Oh.
It's like a whole nother reality.
I guess not thinking about it probably proves that it's true, because I don't think about how old I am either. Anyway, we got a bunch of our people that are not punished to be here. One of which is my sister from another Mr. Dylan Terry. Didn't get assigned. You did not get assigned a lion. I didn't get a lion. True. Yeah. You now in the Voltron universe, you would be technically like the guy in the chair, right? You wouldn't really get that. You would just kind of plug things in and connect networking.
Or like one of those people in the background, like on a monitor. You only see the back of me.
Oh, like a villain?
Sure. No.
I think Dylan's a real pidge.
Is that short for pigeon?
No, that's one of the characters on the show.
Oh,
the green lion?
I thought his name was Bitch.
Okay.
Huh.
And also, Dylan, you're most definitely one of the mice. So you'd be in there.
Cool.
You'd be fixing things in the background.
I'm secretly 3 mice in a trench coat, so I guess that works.
Yeah. Secretly 3 mice in a trench coat. Now, G, you have an affinity for Voltron from what I have not read online. Is that true?
Until the last season, yes.
Okay. And then what in your opinion, what happened in the last season?
I don't know. It just got real bad. It
Nice.
got really bad.
Cool.
Oh no.
Yeah. I will say this is one of the most eloquent review shows that we've been on. But I'm all right. Now, let's see. Hunk, how's it going, pal?
Oh, I'm so good because I was gonna say because I'm gonna be able to get this show out of my memory, but I sort of realized as I started saying it that it's already out of my memory. I'm pretty sure that my memory of the last episode of this show is the memory of the last episode of She-Ra. So I might be fairly more useless than normal on this episode.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's.
So I'm just gonna say stuff, but it probably won't make any sense. Which again, not that much different than normal.
Yeah, that seems pretty on par from what I remember. Okay, now, if you don't know, we're going to be talking about VOLTRON Legendary Defender. It's an animated mecha streaming television series produced by American company DreamWorks Animation Television and World Events Productions, and is animated by South Korean studios Mir. It's a reboot of the VOLTRON franchise in a Japanese animated series, Best King, Go Lion. Now, has anyone here watched the old VOLTRON, like the original VOLTRON? From a few eras ago?
Me.
Oh, I thought you were telling me to stop talking.
No, not yet.
I thought you were giving me the hand. Okay, I that's fine. So you did remember the old Voltron?
Yeah. I was a huge I was huge into robots when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Transformers, Voltron, anything with lions, Robotech, what's that? Evangelion?
I don't know that one.
Evangelion.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah.
It's an anime.
Now, how does your memory serve, like, as far as like what that show was versus what this show is?
Not much.
Yeah,
I only remember the big cool robot fights.
Yeah, it's really just pretty much like, all right, there's 5 cats that turn into a robot, which is
the old one. The old one was a lot of sort of like Power Rangers, like Monster of the Week type things, and then they would try to fight them as individual lions, and then that didn't work, and then they would form Voltron and then cut the big thing in half, and then the episode was done.
Why don't they go to Voltron first? Why waste gas or whatever it is that those things run on? What kind of technology?
The show can happen.
It runs on dramatic tension. You have to build up enough, and then you activate Voltron. Yeah,
I believe they run on tiger blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to eat. Yeah, they do. There is a couple episodes where they do just eat wild tigers out in the jungle.
It's weird
or whatever. Huh.
Now, Michael, not to get too personal, this may come as a shock to everyone else, but I am colorblind. Your penile tattoo of one of the Voltron lions, what color is it?
It's the blue one.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm a big Lance fan.
Yeah.
I just look more like Hunk.
Oh, I thought his name was Honk.
Okay. Now, Ko, do you like the show? You like Voltron?
It reminds me of kind of like Transformers and Power Rangers, which I watched when I was a little bit littler. So, I mean, it's a show.
Yeah.
It's a show.
Yeah. It's a show. I agree. It is Power Rangers like, where it's like, hey, we have our own thing, but then we still gotta do teamwork stuff. But my question is, what happens in the first episode? From what you remember, Ko, what happens in the very first episode of Legendary Defenders?
Okay. They kind of just like start out looking at like a kind of feed, like a live stream of like this person that was I forget his name right now, but he was like being
Shiro,
sure. He was being tested on, and I don't know, he was talking about aliens, and they all made it seem like he was going crazy. And there's another guy coming in trying to save him, and then there's like a huge gang of people that wanted to get to him first, and I thought it was kind of funny because he had no idea who he was at all. Once they like acknowledged who he was, he just had zero memory of him, like at all, and he made it seem like it was an ongoing rivalry for years. But yeah, that's the start of the episode is kind of always a little bit slow, but I personally thought it was kind of funny how they just, once they got to like the bear.
Oh my.
The lion. It looked like he was kind of inside like a force field, but I thought it was funny that they just knocked and it opened. Like, what are the chances?
Gee, that seems pretty accurate, right? That's kind of what happened in the first episode. It's some burping, right? A little bit of vomit, some line work.
There was a fart joke in there too, Zach. That was
there was a fart.
classic.
There was a
Yeah,
fart
it was
joke.
like
Yeah,
we were watching Dances with Wolves with all the fart and vomit jokes.
yeah. Now, Dylan, what happened in the very last episode? And just so that we can be clear, this is season 8, episode 13, called "The End Is the Beginning," which is technically the 78th episode of this series. I'm not sure why Matt and Co had an issue with watching the last episode, or I think he just wanted a reason to punish a child, but who knows? But Dylan, what happened in the very last episode?
So we start with a big robot fight. Voltron's gotten an upgrade because he's bigger, and he's got the big like sci-fi Gundam wings on his back.
Oh yeah.
There's a bunch of like flying purple swords, and then they go to the middle of all realities, and the bad guy kills everybody except Voltron. Literally everybody in all realities except one. And then Allura, not I thought it was the
Ahura?
same name as what's that?
You thought it was Ahura?
I thought it was Adora at first. I'm like,
Adora,
they use
yeah.
the same name as She-Ra. She
Wow, sci-fi girls are just always named something that just sounds like that.
Uhura.
aren't they?
Sounds like Uhura.
I thought
Yeah.
that was Princess Zelda.
Maybe in some reality. But she like forcibly lobotomizes the bad guy into thinking that she's a good guy, and then there's a bunch of people kissing, and then she sacrifices herself to somehow bring everybody back to life, and then a year later everybody's happy and the tigers fly off, and that's it.
Yeah, Michael,
And nobody is satisfied.
I
What did he
definitely
miss?
wasn't
What-
satisfied.
What did he miss, Michael? What did he miss in that last episode? Anything?
I don't think he missed anything, but I didn't get some of the stuff that he said. Like, I don't remember the lobotomy part.
She like does the hand thing where she puts them, and then she's like, "Hey, remember you used to be happy? I'm gonna make you happy now." And then she's like, "Oh, cool, all right."
Okay.
Now,
Yeah, it was just weird because, like, I also didn't think that white Voltron was an upgrade. It looked very stupid. And like, what?
well, it's like a prototype of an upgrade.
And there was an extra pilot. What was the extra pilot? The pilot of the armor that they had?
No,
Like,
the
it didn't make
extra
any
pilot, Michael, is for the tummy.
Oh yeah, I thought it was heart, but tummy makes sense.
Oh, I thought it was for the Wang.
No,
No,
now
that would be disgusting.
unreasonable.
Gross.
Oh yeah.
come on.
Tell
Goodness.
everybody
Messed
about my
up.
penis tattoo, and then you're gonna
Goodness.
say that me saying that a robot penis is disgusting.
You should have
Yeah,
pride in
it
your
is.
body art, Michael.
Look,
Currently, we are talking about this way
do
too
we
long.
want to?
Nope.
No,
Nope.
no.
Come on.
Dylan, cut him off. Cut him off.
All
Dylan.
right.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Okay, now, Co. So we see in the last episode that there is a pretty substantial upgrade, or at least linear move with the Voltron robot. In your best assumption, what happened to the initial robot that needed them to get an upgrade? Mm-hmm.
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 Franklin?
Uh-huh. I agree.
Okay. Oh, I didn't expect that. Okay, cool.
No.
Now
We're
Dylan,
gonna have to cut this. We're gonna have to cut this in the
Yeah,
audio
Yeah,
version.
we're gonna have. Yeah,
we're just gonna
take
slice
that
it. Okay,
because
never mind.
Honestly,
I know that this show
oh,
has the
God.
explicit tag, but we can't.
if you're listening to the audio, if you're listening
It's
to the
the
audio,
8th
this
episode, guys.
Little Code just went on an F-bomb tirade and really just messed up all of our ratings. So sorry about that. That we had to take all that audio out. Dylan, instead of answering that, please, I'm gonna throw that question to you because that was flagrant at best. But go ahead, Dylan. What caused Voltron to get an armor upgrade?
I mean, eventually they just keep building it. They're just like, all right, screw it. Slap this on there, right there. The weirdest part was when they like slid sideways into the Zoids universe that Netflix did, where they have like the robot animals. Because it's the only time they ever like cross over with anything else. I didn't understand it.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Well, they did replace the blue lion with the blue Zord from the Power Rangers. You just couldn't see it because the white armor was covering everything up. But at one point, Lance was piloting the blue Zord from the Power Rangers. He just beat that nerd up from the Power Rangers and took his Zord.
Yeah.
Matt, what is your opinion on how the robot armor upgrade went?
I think that the original robot got pregnant, so they had to go on a completely new quest to find 6 lions, comprised of 2 arms, 2 legs, a tummy, and a head, and that's about it. I mean, I wish it was more interesting than that. Oh, also, you don't see the little mice anymore because they're tending to the pregnant Voltron and acting as a midwife of sorts.
Gotcha. So Voltron 1 is on maternity leave. Voltron 2 now unran by mice is taken over. G, do you want to clear this up? What happened with Voltron's upgrade? Is any cool story with that?
I don't remember.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, cool. So in the last episode, like we all mentioned, there is an extra pilot. There's a random another pilot that did not start with the crew, and as we can assume, there was some sort of interview process or first hire that did not work out well that got this person in to get the job. Now, Michael, do you want to tell us about any of the interviews for this 6th and mysterious pilot?
Well, like you said, there was a lot of crossover. We did see the sort of universe where all of the different realities were sort of coming together. So there was a lot of crossover. They did interview JoJo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That one did not go well because there was a whole thing, like he was about to get the job, but then this Frankenstein made out of 72 missing villagers came in and took out the interviewing manager. So that was pretty terrible. They had to go through a whole hiring process to hire a new manager to hire a new pilot to pilot the new Zord that was on Voltron. So that didn't go great.
Now, according to my notes, I wrote down that they had actually hired up to 72 cats to form a large Voltron made up of, dysfunctional severed cats, and then they whittled it back down to 6. So I do like your perspective of what as well. Dylan, how'd they get 6 pilots? What's your story here?
I mean, I did skip around and saw some of the interviews. It was really weird when Danny McBride showed up like as himself. I didn't really expect that in a kid's show, and with the language he was using, I'm shocked that Netflix was okay kind of finishing this out. And I think they just brought another one in and just never acknowledged that it was someone new. They had just treated it like it was a character who'd been there the entire time.
Oh,
Yeah.
they just worked them in. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they just the executives were like, yeah, kids are dumb. They won't notice that there's an extra one, so they just slapped them in there.
Yeah, that's fair. Matt and Co, what's your story? What do you think? How'd this sixth random pilot get there?
Well, I think you guys are making this way too complicated. Basically, when they found the tummy tiger, they said there's one obvious paladin to pilot this thing, and they went all the way back to episode 1, where Bitch was on the boat looking for the green lion, and there was this sloth rowing the boat like they were crossing the river Styx. And there are all these Pokemon and whatnot running around.
There was a lot of Pokemon on that.
There were a lot of Pokemon. It was like they were like mutant Pikachus, a whole forest of them. So all they did was find that sloth and shave him, shave him down, and who knew? You can row a boat across a river. You can pilot a robot cat.
Honestly, if that's anywhere near the truth, I'm going to find some time to binge watch this. G, please clear this up. The sixth pilot. Who is this? What are they doing? Where they come from?
I don't know what you guys are talking about with the sixth pilot because there's only ever been 5.
No,
there's just 5 of them.
6.
I'm pretty sure there were 6 people in that robot at the end.
I just looked it up. There's only 5.
We just watched it. I had to watch extra episodes.
Wasn't Uhura in there with them?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, Lance
it was
moved
Uhura
to the Black
and Shira,
Lion.
it was Uhura, Shira, Hunk, Pidge, Lance, Keith.
Lance Keith, who's that? Is that one person?
Mm-hmm.
Lance
NASCAR driver.
Chris Kirkpatrick, Justin Timberlake, Mr. Bass. Wait, so there was not a sixth pilot in last episode? I could have sworn
there's 5.
There was 6 people in.
No, because Keith is in the black one. Lance is in the red one. The red one. Pidge is in the green one. Hunk is in the yellow one, and Alora is in the blue one.
Well, then where did Shira go?
He went back to Earth.
No.
He got kicked out.
Are they on it? Oh.
In the original one, was there not a pink lion? Am I imagining that?
No, they just put Uhura in the pink suit because she was a girl.
Yeah.
She piloted the green. No, not the green.
The blue one.
The blue one.
I think we need to rewatch these 2 episodes because I don't know if I consumed this, and I had a hard time.
I mean, I definitely watched it, but I got shit.
Yeah,
I do swear that there was an extra pilot.
There were definitely 6 pilots, but you guys know what you missed in that freaking episode I was tricked into watching?
Is it the DUI very special episode?
No, even worse.
Was it the
that
one
would
where
be a
Keith
good after
was
school
talking
special,
about his real dad?
No, apparently they could communicate with the ghosts of the dead pilots.
There were pilots before them.
So there were 2 entire sets of pilots and 2 Voltrons and 2 teams of cats, and one was a ghost. And it was not good.
God. Okay.
I
can see why you punished Co now. Yeah. Okay, so Co, I'm gonna throw a question at you real fast. In the last episode, we meet Honerva, and they are very, very bad. Now they're not in the first episode. So, with your best estimation, Co, how did Honerva show up in the show? What's her beef with Voltron?
I think. Oh, that's hard. So I'm just making sure that I know who you're talking about. The one
bad
that
girl at the end. The naughty old woman.
Did you say naughty or naughty?
Both.
Is there a
You didn't
difference?
seem all that naughty.
I think I'm just gonna state the obvious. I think that the pregnant pregnant Voltron, the first pregnant Voltron, had twins.
Oh.
And she, that was her. Yep. She just grew up really fast. Yep.
You're right. That was obvious and really just a waste of my time. So
Exactly.
I need you to come with some funnier or better stories. Okay, so wait. So you're saying the first pregnant robot, which would allude to the fact that there would be a second at some point pregnant robot, but the first one gave birth to twins, and one of the twins you're saying is Minerva, the bad naughty woman from the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Michael, I'm not sure if I believe that, but what do you? How did Minerva get in there? What's up with her?
I'm pretty sure that Minerva is Aurora's mother. She got impregnated by the Blue Lion and had it was that's from like the third season. You don't want to watch that season. It's very bloody.
You're saying that the large blue robotic lion mated with a humanoid person.
A humanoid, the blue. Purple,
okay.
Sure. Yeah, and they had a Hora.
The cat robot that people can ride inside of.
Yes.
The humanoids can be inside of. That thing had in intercourse. Okay.
What I found most disturbing about that whole act was the audience involved. I mean, it was just an arena. People cheering, people like vending pretzels and beer, videotaping it on their phones. It was a little out of hand.
Yeah. See, I think Matt watched a lot more of this than I only caught. Like, it was a real, like, one of the days I came into G's room and they were watching Voltron, and I was like, why are you watching this hentai? And they were like, no, Dad, it's Voltron. Don't even worry about it. This is a kid's show. And I was like, I don't know about this. But anyway, so Ahora's mom is Minerva, who mated with the Blue Lion. Lance wasn't there because he wasn't born yet. So it was a ghost pilot that was piloting the blue cat robot while he was mating with Minerva.
I am not liking this whatsoever.
So
gentlemen, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
I saw Steve.
What are we doing?
I saw David Lynch's name in the credits. I'm like, what did he do with this? Jeez.
Okay.
You did ask for something better,
and I'm going to stand by it. Dylan, please. Minerva, not Minerva for any reason. Minerva. How did Minerva hop into this story and have such an issue with Voltron Atlas?
Listen, man, you want something different. I can't lie to you. Like,
yeah.
You got to confront this.
All right, well, hit me with it then. Tell me the events. I'll take it.
I mean, the David Lynch episode it was in a big arena, Blue Lion. Things went the way they do. It was really weird to do it in like a found footage format from like the point of view of the audience, but and then several months later, piloting the robot. I don't know what to tell you.
So there's a ghost piloting a now rapist cat robot.
No, not rapist at all. This was completely consensual. She wanted this.
Yeah,
it was the most joyous episode of like all 8 seasons.
Oh yeah, it was very erotic.
There was cheering.
It sounds like it's in an arena with found footage. I'm not sure. Okay, that's okay. They all just they they sold tickets to this event. How did people know this was happening?
It was a charity event.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Big Cat Rescue.
Robot-owned humanoid charity event for Big Cat Rescue. The big cats need help here. Okay, that's fair. G, I hate that you're a part of this. I'm sorry. I'm not happy with how this one's going. But please, Minerva, when did she show up in this show, and how much sex did not have with a robotic lion?
I hate to break it to you, but
Oh my god.
she was indeed in the first episode.
Oh.
She's the witch from the first episode.
That's what I told you.
Oh.
Okay, so when does she fall in love with a ghost robot driver?
Talk about a glow
or the robot itself.
No one said anything about love.
It was season 3.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. I'm just trying to figure this out. I'm just trying to understand if I got to find some time to binge this show. Dylan.
Yeah.
Now, 8 seasons, 78 episodes. Obviously, around like the season 3 mark, not the arena sex thing, but that's when you start kind of like, we got to start throwing some random episodes in here, some filler episodes. Now, in your estimation, what is the best filler episode of all 8 seasons?
I'm going to expand the scope a little bit because I really liked season 5, which was literally just season 4 uploaded again. Like,
sick.
Same episodes in the same order. The only difference is they put like Snapchat filters on all the characters. I'm like, that's weird. I don't get it. But when you talk about filler, like talk about efficiency.
Yeah. Oh, so the whole season. So season 5 is a filler.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay, cool. Well, I didn't expect that. Michael.
And they said that they were going to do that a couple times to get it up to 100 episodes so that they could go into syndication, but they never did that. Like, they only would have had to do another season and a half.
Yeah.
And they could have got rerun on ABC, at Tuesday at 3 p.m.
Yeah, that's a great time. There's other shows you could be watching at Tuesday at 3 p.m., such as Twitching Upstream. But so
7th Heaven
and 7th Heaven, which is a better show than Twitching Upstream. Okay, so now, Michael, the Snapchat filters that Dylan brought up, I'm really glad that he mentioned that. Now, was that for the viewer or was that in universe? Like, do other robotic lions see these Snapchat filters, or was that just for us?
I think it had to have been just for us because nobody else acknowledges it. They're around, and Pidge has the crown of flowers, and then Keith has that one where he looks like some sort of J horror monstrosity, but nobody's ever scared of him. When Hunk has the hearts over his head, he's never actually in love with anyone. So I do think that was just for us.
Okay, that's fair. Now, Matt and Co., your favorite filler episodes of these 8 seasons. What do you got?
I'm sorry, I just want to say something really quick before we get into that.
Well, that's what this is. This is everyone just saying something.
Okay.
So you can.
One thing that just disturbed me throughout, like it was in the last episode, the guy with the cyborg arm, his entire right here, he didn't have that. And in the very if you watch till the credits, there's a scene and he was marrying somebody and they leaned in for a kiss and they put their entire arm through his shoulder.
Oh,
I
cool.
hated that. It physically hurt me.
We did rewind it to make sure that happened. Filler episode, though. One thing that I really thought was just clearly unnecessary in a filler throwaway episode was the episode where the green and the yellow lion break down on a farm. And they just, for the life of them, cannot figure out how to fix these things because they can't get in contact with the mice, who are the only ones that know how to fix VOLTRON lions. But the farmer, who actually needs some hands, helping hands around the farm, knows how to fix VOLTRON cats. So in exchange for fixing the VOLTRON cats, they do a lot of farm work. So you see them flirting with the farmer's daughter, husking corn, milking cows. Honk threw up 8 times because that's all he does. Bitch got knocked over by a mean little goat. It just things like that. But at the end, I really liked where they sat down to, just a meat and potatoes style meal, fresh pie. Again, Honk, ate too much, throws up at the very end. Everyone laughs. Then they get on their lions and just go away.
Yeah.
It was weird to see sci-fi Amish represented.
Yeah.
But honestly, it was nice. It was gentle and well touched. Now, Ko, was that your favorite episode as well, or did you have a different favorite filler episode?
I think that was my favorite filler episode, but there's one scene inside of, I think, the one that I forced Father to watch, was the
You call him Father?
They like there's one of the pilots changed into one of the ghosts, like in the suit. And there's just a cat, and I liked that. I think it was kind of funny that a cat was piloting a cat.
Oh yeah, it was the cat ghost piloting the cat.
That turned into a man.
Yep.
So.
But unfortunately, the giant big bad robot that they had to fight there had a catnip toy, and the stupid ghost cat was rolling around on the space floor.
So,
and
like, one entire leg just didn't work the entire show. So yeah,
bad.
It was really bad.
Yeah. That's. I think I might have to watch this show. G, what's your favorite filler episode of this season, if there is one?
Oh, G, please do not say the St. Patrick's Day episode, because I
think one of us has to be real. Is there a St. Patrick's Day
definitely the D&D
so
episode.
Okay. Well, hit me with it. How's that episode go?
Here, I'll start you
There's
off.
not a St. Patrick's Day episode, but there is a D&D episode.
Yeah, no, Honk was freaking hungry because he has that whole throw up problem. And it's St. Patrick's Day, and he remembers his home planet that,
the D&D episode is also the St. Patrick's Day episode.
Oh, yeah. That's why they're all in costume. Honk is the barbarian. So they sit down for the St. Patty's sauerkraut corned beef meal, and Lance starts talking about a tale when he was a boy, and how if he has this whole ritual and how to find a pot of gold, and that was it. I mean, the whole rest of it was them trying to succeed in this ritual to find a pot of gold. What would they do with a pot of gold in space time super war cats? I don't know.
They could buy like an actual sixth cat.
Oh, maybe that's where they bought the sixth cat.
That's how they got the sixth
cat. The tummy cat.
The tummy cat.
So this episode is a St. Patrick's Day where they happen to be dressed up and they decide to play Dungeons and Dragons to find a real pot of gold to buy a sixth robot.
Yeah, the
cat.
Okay.
Yeah, because Voltron was missing a very important part, a tummy.
What does the robot need a tummy for?
So
to hold the baby, Zach.
You ever pet a cat on his tummy?
No.
Can you please pay attention to this show?
Voltron is not a cat. Voltron is a samurai.
He's a cat man.
Voltron needs to get pregnant, so he needs to have an extra stomach part so that the baby can live there and grow.
Plus, I'm sorry. That's also where all the purring sounds come from, the tummy region.
I'm sorry. I'm not very well versed on robotic cats or Voltron, really. That's why we're doing this show, so I can find out if I need to watch the full length of the show. All right, let's just move on past D&D.
No.
Okay.
I'm insulted that nobody talked about the very special episode where there's no robotic cats at all, and the pilots are just having a nice time, having some time off, and Pidge locks herself in the refrigerator and
Who's
nobody
Pidge?
can find her. She almost
Bitch.
dies.
Oh, bitch. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a whole thing, and it's teaching kids not to play hide and seek in discarded refrigerators because you could run out of air and die. Like,
yeah, I mean, look, every
there
show
are
needs a
some
classic
very special
PSAs.
episodes where we're teaching kids stuff.
I mean, the
and-
entire sixth season is entirely special episodes. Like,
But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about badass robots cutting things up. Like, that's not the touchy-feely show that I'm looking for here.
You don't want to talk about the one where Hunk tries to buy a bicycle and the guy who's selling him bicycles is trying to touch his wiener and stuff. You don't want to talk about that one either.
Nobody wants to talk about that one.
Not live, no. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Co on this one. All right, so Dylan, Voltron, as we know, is 5 robotic cats that form a giant robot that sometimes has a sword and fights evildoers throughout the galaxy. Throughout the 8 seasons, Voltron fights lots of things. Which is your favorite enemy that Voltron legendary defenders went up against in these 8 seasons?
I think it was, well, I know there were 8 seasons, but I really like the movie when he goes up against the Avengers.
That was Ultron.
Age of Voltron?
Yeah, that was Ultron.
Yeah.
Ultron.
It was a bunch of robots fighting the Avengers. That was Voltron, right?
Age of Voltron.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. Next, Michael.
I don't understand why you guys think it's funny. That's a really serious movie, and I think some people in the audience would be offended at you laughing at Voltron.
Well, that's fair, but Co, listen, I need you to speak when spoken to, all right, pal? Michael.
I do not listen to strangers like this. Excuse me?
Well, you're on my show, so...
I don't even know you!
Whoa! Now, see? We finally got there.
Zach, there was a very special episode in season 6 about ego.
Yeah, and about sharing. You should watch season 6.
Sharing and ego. Season 6. Okay, that's the PSA season, right?
Yeah.
Right. And honestly, for all of our friends and fans out there, I'm very sorry for mocking Ultron and however ages he has, which I think is
Voltron.
3 days. But okay,
Voltron.
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I think I watched a different movie that was funny. Yep. Now, Hunk.
Yes.
Your favorite bad guy that Voltron goes up against.
My favorite bad guy actually showed up in episode 1, and it was the Batman. And he was piloting that giant space cruiser. They kicked his ass so bad in episode 3 that he went back to Earth, and he was like, "I'm not fighting robots anymore. I'm only going to fight street criminals in Gotham." And he went back to Gotham. A couple of the aliens came back down. You know, one of them was from a race of clowns. The other one was a race where they looked half human and half like they were burned up. You know, one came from a planet where everyone was evolved from plants. So yeah, that ended up being a whole spin-off show, which was also very weird.
Yeah. Well, that sounds great. I love that one.
Yeah.
No, it was really good. It was just like completely removed from Voltron.
Talk about filler episodes, though. Filler episode on that spinoff. When he met that cat villain and he was preparing for their date, I was laughing so hard when he was at the side of his house with the garden hose, like practicing French kissing because he's never kissed a girl.
Yeah.
And, so funny.
That one did get a little weird because he was rubbing her tummy and she didn't seem to like it. And even though like she was clawing him up, he still didn't stop. He thought it was funny. That got a little bit.
Yeah. That was not funny.
No.
No. I'm sorry.
I don't know why he's still laughing at this.
I was laughing at something earlier. It was a joke that I remembered from earlier. It has nothing to do with this current joke. Now I'm laughing at Dylan, if anyone's wondering. Okay.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Dylan.
Gee, how about you? What was your favorite of all the bad guys that Voltron had to form to defeat?
When the 3 mice from the beginning when they turned into giant centipedes. That was my favorite.
That sounds dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any more questions on Voltron. I think that I need to find some time to binge a show. It seems like it's a special thing about heart and family and mice, and I'm down with all of that.
We had so much time to. I mean, we had 2 weeks. It seems like everybody else watched the entire 78 or whatever the fuck episodes.
Yeah,
I can't believe you only watched the first and the last ones. I
Yeah,
also
I'm
can't
not-
believe that nobody watched all of them. We all seem to just skip around. It sounds like we all watched all of season 6, though.
They released it in asynchronous order. I don't know what I'm supposed to watch it in.
Well, I think
There's
it
a
just
whole-
proves that none of us have time to binge this show, though. We
There's
just
a
pick and
whole
choose.
subreddit on how you're supposed to watch the episodes. It's like, yeah, I know. I don't
I'm
want to
not
get
allowed
on Reddit either.
anymore.
But
Yeah, Dylan's been kicked off 4 times from Reddit, which is very weird.
oh, is
Don't
that
worry
why
about
he
it.
named his board that he started 4chan?
Don't you dare pin that on me. Don't you lay that evil at my doorstep, Michael Golden.
I'm definitely not out loud saying yes, just so everyone knows. Okay, so G, Voltron Legendary Defenders. Is this a good show?
Until the last episode, yeah. Or the last season.
The whole last season, yeah.
Yeah.
Does it seem like it kind of like feels like it was drawn out, or does it seem like episodic or season wise it's purposeful?
I don't know. The first couple seasons are like just goofy and fun and kind of lighthearted, and then that last season is just like, I don't know, it feels just so out of place and like slow paced, and there's stuff that just comes out of nowhere, like Shiro getting married to a guy at the end that was never mentioned. He never had a boyfriend, like he never even had like a romantic interest in the show. It was just kind of thrown in there at the end. It was just not good.
What's with at the end sequence? What's with Bitch making a Pinocchio replica of himself? Nothing to that. It's just like, I'm making a robot version of myself that's kind of like a Pinocchio.
I have
Oh,
no
I
idea.
forgot
I think
about
it's
that. That
supposed to
actually
look
did
like the
happen.
original. Like the original Pidge.
So does this take place after or before? Like, is this the original crew from the like 80s show?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Because they are all named the same, but if I remember correctly, Pidge does end up being a girl.
Yeah, I remember one of them being
in this one.
Yeah, and this one Pidge is a girl.
She was just pretending to be a boy.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
See, I didn't know that, and they didn't have that in the last episode.
No,
so
They
You know.
her mom does call her Katie.
Huh.
In the last episode.
all right, but you know,
I gotta rewatch this.
Yeah. It's really weird, but like I couldn't tell because like the She-Ra thing, it did seem like a prequel to the 80s She-Ra show.
Yeah.
And this sort of seemed like it could have been a prequel or something, but it also seems like a reboot, but it also seems like a reworking, and I didn't know I have
I
no
don't know.
idea if this has anything to do with the original show. But you're right, like that first episode, I was like, this is pretty cool. Like I liked that first hour-long episode. It seemed like the beginning of a solid mech cartoon. But then that last episode was such a fucking bummer. I was like, I don't think I can like for 98 episodes, I don't think I can watch all of that.
You know what I really liked about that last episode? That it was not an hour long.
Yeah, it definitely was only 20 something minutes
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, I agree. When it came on, when the first episode came on, I was like, oh, this has like an Avatar, Last Airbender kind of feel. It has like that kind of humor to it. And then that last episode, it's like, oh, okay, something happened here. I'm not exactly sure. Does anybody have any questions for G about this show that they would like covered from episode 1 to the last one?
Why do people watch this? Like, seriously, why?
Because, like I said, it was a good show until the last season.
It like, you know, it seemed pretty good from what I saw, like, of the episodes, except for that one with the lion and Minerva. I was not a fan of that. But other than that, everything I saw, it did look fun. It looked like a fun, action-y, you know, mech cartoon that seemed like a lot of fun. It had, you know, cheesy dialogue like you expect in this kind of thing. But yeah, that last episode was, and I'm sure, I mean, even though the ghost pilots and the ghost Voltron cats like sounds rad as hell, like I'm down for that. But yeah, that last episode was like, I can't with this.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It was that episode. I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch all this because it was not great. But episode 1 I thought was very fun, cool. So I guess maybe if you got time, put it on and see what happens until you tune out or don't want to watch it. I guess at least hang out until the very last season. But yeah, like we all said, the last episode was kind of a drag, but either way, I think that it is worth watching at least some of Voltron Legendary Defender. Now we were talking about what we're going to talk about for the next episode, and is everyone cool with Centaur World? It's this weird show that I kind of found on Netflix. It only has season 1 out. It hasn't been canceled, so it's probably still ongoing. But within that first season, it takes a wild arc. So I think it's kind of a cool, interesting show. I don't think anyone has seen it on here except for me. So I could suggest that. Or if anyone has a better show, we can also do that. So what are we thinking?
Works for me.
I'm good to do Centaur World.
I love it.
Excellent. All right, excellent.
I've never even heard of it.
No.
Yeah. I'm not sure how I came across on Netflix, but I watch a lot of weird stuff. So, all right. So next episode of No Time to Binge, we're going to figure out what happens throughout season 1 of Centaur World. You can find that on Netflix. I think it's only like 8 episodes. They're tight episodes, so it's not super lengthy, but it is pretty and weird. So I hope you guys like it. Anything else anybody wants to talk about Voltron? Yeah, a lot of horse stuff.
I was going to ask if the centaurs wear pants, but don't answer me. I'd rather be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them don't have legs, so those ones don't. Just so you know. Yeah, but anyway, tune in next time to listen to us talk about centaurs and the world in which they live in on Netflix. It is a weird trip. Trust me. I hope you watch it and like it. And then I guess we'll go around and say goodbye and where people can hear your beautiful voices. So, G, why don't you say goodbye and where people can find you?
I'm on this show and I'm on Generation Clash. I'm so bad at the outros, man. I'm on Generation Clash. That's about all you need to know.
That's great. Matt and Co.
Yep. You can hear me. I'm taking over all of B's podcasts. I'm the new host of JoJo Reference ? And also another one called Deep Lore. And the ratings have been skyrocketing.
That's, yeah.
Jack presents me and my neighbor Michael. For us.
Love it. Thank you for showing up. I'm sorry you got punished, but I appreciate it. Mr. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that was deep size. Yeah.
Oh. Thank you. Yeah. Trust me, they're all around. Michael Colby, hit me with some goodbyes.
All right, I am gonna plug stuff today. Generation Clash. We got an episode coming out in tomorrow on the Wu-Tang Clan. There's 2 episodes out: My Chemical Romance and The Dead Kennedys. And then Mother in 2 weeks. Jack Billings Presents Me and My Neighbor Michael. That entire series is out. Jack Billings Presents Haunted Apartment Complex. The first episode of that is scheduled for next Tuesday. So that's going to start next Tuesday. And then I am on I Love This Terrible Game and The Real Boys, which on Friday we are halfway through our original season. So on Friday we're going to be talking about the first half of what we've done so far and what's going to happen in the future. So that should be interesting. And yeah, I'll also be on apparently the 2nd season of Silicon Angels, which I'm super excited about because it's literally my 2nd favorite show. And Jack Billings Presents is my 3rd favorite show. So
ha.
He loves Joe Rogan, by the way, but whatever.
Yeah.
Dylan,
we don't talk
Do you
about
want
it.
me to plug my number 1 favorite show? It's called Alabaster's Haberdashery. It's a 4-minute long podcast about
great show.
a podcube sent from the future into a haberdashery in the 1800s. It rules.
Yeah, it is one of the coolest shows I've ever listened to as well.
Wait. I might listen to this. Are there penguins involved?
There are penguins involved.
And do you think, like, on a typical day, how many pencils would this guy have in his pocket? Like, would it be more than 10?
It's definitely more than 10. I would say probably 15 or 16 pencils in his pocket.
16 pencils sounds good. I'm going to have to check this show out.
All right.
Dylan Terry.
Some nobody stuff, twitching upstream on Tuesdays. Silicon Angels, Create Your Own Pod Venture Appeal, which Zach puzzled all of these pieces I wrote together into something that's actually comprehensible, which is really impressive. And we got stuff in the can ready to fire at some point. So
yeah. We got some stuff in the can. That's cool. Yeah. And like Matt said, check out B over at Deep Lore and Is This Podcast a JoJo reference? Awesome shows. And if you're looking for Dylan, you most likely find me. And we appreciate any attention whatsoever. So thank you guys very much for listening or watching. And next time we're on, we'll probably talk about Centaur World. And until then, guys, I don't know. Dylan, you can play the outro music, I guess.
All right.
The hunter becomes the hunted. Awesome. That's the tagline from like 6 of my favorite movies.
And now for something completely different.
What I do is I look a woman up and down and I say, I'm coming to join you, bitch.
Oh, that too far?
Oh, you want to get into things?
Well, I mean...
No. Let's get into things. Let's get real. Everybody, BoJack wants to get real. Cancel the bubble round, because we're getting real.